The question of whether God gives us free will is a complex and debated topic within philosophy and theology. Different religious traditions and logical perspectives offer various interpretations. Some believe that God grants humans free will, allowing them to make choices independent of divine intervention. This perspective suggests that God respects the autonomy of individuals and gives them the ability to choose their actions, even if those choices may not align with divine will. Others argue that God's omniscience, or knowing all things past, present, and future, may pose challenges to the concept of free will. If God already knows every choice a person will make, some question whether true free will exists or if choices are predetermined in some way. Different religious traditions offer different explanations for how free will fits into their understanding of God and divine providence. Some reconcile free will with divine omniscience by suggesting that God exists outside of time and therefore sees all events simultaneously without necessarily causing them. Others emphasize the mystery of divine will and human choice, acknowledging that the relationship between the two may be beyond human understanding. Ultimately, whether God gives us free will and how that relates to divine attributes like omniscience remains a deeply logical and theological question that continues to spark discussion and debate. The concept of free will has been a central topic in philosophy and theology for centuries, and it intersects with various religious and logical perspectives. In Western philosophy, thinkers like Augustine and Thomas Aquinas grappled with the tension between divine foreknowledge and human freedom. Augustine, for example, argued that God's omniscience does not negate human free will. Rather, God's knowledge of our choices stems from his timeless perspective, where past, present, and future are simultaneously present to him. In the Islamic tradition, scholars like Al-Ghazali explored the idea of free will within the context of divine predestination, Qadar. They proposed that while God knows all things, including our choices, humans still possess free will and are accountable for their actions. In Eastern philosophies such as Hinduism and Buddhism, the concept of free will takes on different nuances. In Hinduism, the doctrine of karma suggests that individuals have agency to make choices, but those choices have consequences that shape their future experiences. In Buddhism, the concept of dependent origination suggests that our actions, karma, arise from complex causes and conditions, allowing for a degree of freedom within the framework of interconnectedness. In modern times, scientific discoveries in neuroscience have also influenced discussions on free will. Some argue that human decisions are ultimately determined by physical processes in the brain, which could challenge traditional notions of free will. However, others contend that even if our choices are influenced by neurological factors, they still reflect a form of agency and responsibility. Overall, the question of whether God gives us free will continues to be explored from various logical, theological, and scientific perspectives, highlighting the complexity of human agency and its relationship to broader metaphysical concepts. Most Christians believe that God gives us free will, but there are consequences in every choices we make.